What is all this? We have the tail cone attached to the forward fuselage. And it's really difficult for me to show it to you all, so here's the picture I took standing way out in my driveway. This thing doesn't fit in my garage so well anymore, front to back. It needs to go in here caddy corner. So, yeah. This happened yesterday. Russ came over. We got the rest of the skins riveted on the sides up here, and then I said, well, while you're here, let's go ahead and attach the tail cone. So we got the tail cone attached now. We're going to come back to another thing here in a second. But on this issue, future builders, getting the tail cone matched up to this section here was quite the pain. My helpful hint that I will provide, number one, if you've already bolted in the battery and all that other stuff there, take it out. I realized that it was in the way, but not until it was too late. And I mean, you can leave it, but the other one is remove the bulkhead here. There's just too much flopping around all over the place while you're trying to there's just too many moving parts. So you're better off just remove the bulkhead and get the skins together first. Then once the skins are together, you can go back and slide the bulkhead in and then Cleco it in place. I mean, get a couple of Clecos in, then pop the bulkhead back in. So anyway, we did that. My foam has come in extremely handy because doing two-person riveting, it was easier for me to be inside the airplane. I mean, I was climbed up in here in this corner. There are a couple of rivets that are real pains. I don't know if the camera can get up in there, but yeah, no. So in here, that place, now that I've focused on my finger, there's a rivet way up there in the corner, and it corresponds to that guy right there. That was a real pain to get to. Obviously one on each side. There was a couple of others down here in the corners that were kind of tough, but they weren't too bad. So, and then the nut plates down here were, and these two rivets down here, and the top nut plate one was fine, but that one was a little tight to get into there too. But we got it done. So here's the other big news. I got a phone call the other day that my wheels and brakes and everything are in. So that's the nose wheel and the nose wheel bearing that it rides on. These are beautiful pieces of artwork from France, Behringer wheels. The mains are in here, and I'm just going to leave them wrapped up for the time being. Also, I purchased the master cylinders. Boom, there's my master cylinders and all the pieces and parts to make the master cylinders work. Parking brake is there. Parking brake control and all the pieces and parts to make that work. And the brakes are here in the box, and I took everything out and put it all back. So, but yeah, kind of excited about all this. So I did skip a couple of steps here that I need to go back and finish that are technically not supposed to do. They're in the step order before you actually attach the tail cone. So I still need to put in the floorboards down there. I still need to put on there's a deck that goes here that I still need to rivet in place. The air vents still need to be installed. The step needs to be installed. Yeah. Well, the other good news is I got both my tables back. So here's this table. I think this is the one that the airplane's been sitting on for about the last 4 or 5 months. That one over there, we've had empty and open most of the time. So, because the airplane now sits on the dolly, which Tim gave this to me after he finished his airplane, and it works perfect. It's the great height. It's easy to get in and out of the airplane. Just a little step stool, and boom, you're inside and can walk around and do what you got to do. I still need to build a tail stand of some variety. So for the time being, it sits on the sawhorse. It actually is not sitting on it. It sits perfectly fine, but if you start putting weight in the back end of the airplane, it has this tendency to go nose up because we don't have a big 200 to 300 pound motor on the front end of it yet. the fan that you see there is definitely not going to propel this thing forward. So thanks for watching, and I think I'm going to be caught up now. I apologize for that atrocious sound. We are not caught up. This video was actually shot about 3 weeks ago. There's been lots going on with life, as well as lots going on with the airplane, but I promise you that we'll get it all caught up here in the next week or so.